Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice for radio, so today, we've got new GXs to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted. Woke up today to the news that Banette GX is now a thing. And I tell you something for nothing. It could be a pretty nice thing indeed, as has become a very, very, very regular thing. Our translation comes from the lovely David Hochmann, Mr. RappelmannTCG himself. And it's looking pretty good. I like it. So, we start off with 190 HP, which is very, very low for a Stage 1 GX. Generally speaking, Stage 1 GXs tend to be kind of 210 like Goliath support, or even 200 like something like an Espeon. 190 is very low. Having said that, this is clearly a functional reprint of the Banette EX from EX Legend Maker, so in that context, given that that one had 90 HP, maybe it's not so ridiculous that we've got 190 here. What I will say is the weakness to darkness is absolutely terrible, because it means you're weak to Zoroark. Being weak to Zoroark in this day and age, ladies and gentlemen, is a really, 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 really bad thing. Zoroark is everywhere, and weakness to Zoroark sucks. A Zoroark doesn't even need a full bench to get a one-hit KO. Zoroark with a bench of 4 will be hitting for 200 and getting a straight one-hit KO here. That is not a particularly good thing at all. But then again, if you're going to have weakness to the best Pokemon in the format, it would help to have resistance to the second best Pokemon in the format, and your resistance to fighting, and hence Buzzwole, means that you have exactly that. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Retreat cost of 1 is alright, especially as both your attacks here are for a single energy. It's actually kind of nice. But as always, the main question is, what does it do? We've got an ability in 2 attacks, like so many GXs before it. The ability here says that once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active, you may move a damage counter from one Pokemon in play to another Pokemon in play. Now, it's only 1 damage counter, and it's only once per turn, and it's only if you're in the active. But this could still be a very useful ability. We saw a very similar thing on Meowstic, which was played in Gyarados decks. Gyarados decks would often be 10 damage short of some key KOs, and they would always have damage on their Magikarp because you did more damage for each damage counter on your Magikarp. So what Gyarados players took to doing was using Meowstic to move 1 damage counter from one of their Magikarp to one of their opponent's Pokemon, so that they could then take a key KO. This is a good ability. This is not an ability that's going to absolutely crush the game for you. Now, if you want a really extreme example, how about that Reuniclus that seems to keep coming up and coming up in recent videos? That ability allowed you to constantly move damage from one of your Pokemon to another one. It didn't have to be in the active, and it was used in a deck that came second at Worlds, and probably should have won, to be honest, to move a whole bunch of damage onto a Donphan, so that you could then just keep rolling and winning the game. Or, you know, heal it off with Blissey. It was great. This ability doesn't do that. You're not moving enough damage counters to really heal, and you're not moving enough damage counters to really hurt your opponent. You are moving 1 damage counter from one Pokemon to another. Now, there's more you can do with this. Let's say one of your opponent's Pokemon is 10 damage away from being KO'd. Let's say you do 180 to a Buzzwole, for instance, and we've all done many a time. Then, of course, you can move 1 damage counter to a Buzzwole, take a mid-turn KO, get some extra prizes. That's really cool. Or if your Pokemon is about to be one-hit KO'd, maybe you can move a damage counter away so that you just survive a KO. Maybe you can move a damage counter every turn and really work on this, but largely here, it's about just saving one of your Pokemon or just KOing one of your opponents. It needs to be in the active, so you're not necessarily going to be doing it every turn, and it is on a Stage 1, so it's not as techable as Meowstic was. But I tell you something for nothing, I like this, ladies and gentlemen. I like it a lot. Main attack here, 30 damage, plus 10 more for each supporter card in your discard pile, up to a maximum of 100 extra damage. It's kind of like that Chandelure from Steam Siege that nobody played, that also for 2 energy did 10 damage, plus 10 more for each supporter card in your discard pile. Well, this is 30 plus rather than 10 plus, and crucially, it's for a single energy. And that, I think, is absolutely crucial. And let's face it, you're hitting weakness on stuff like Buzzwole, on stuff like Espeon. So the great thing here is, you can pop a choice band on here, and you're doing already a flat 60, which means 4 supporter cards in your discard pile, or 7 if you don't have the choice band, and you're doing 100, which doubled will get a 1-hit KO on a Buzzwole or an Espeon. And if you're playing against a Buzzwole deck, then this gives you a really, really good, easy answer to Buzzwole, because first of all, you've got resistance, which really, really helps. And second of all, you should be, from kind of turn 2 or 3, because you'll have to discard an extra supporter at some point, but, you know, you've got Ultra Ball and Trade and stuff like that, you're absolutely fine. Then you should be in a great position to start just taking big KOs and swinging the game in your favour. Certainly Zoroark Banette, as I've just alluded to, is a deck that makes a whole bunch of sense. It's a deck that I could see popping up here and there, because first of all, the ability can be useful, and second of all, you are in a good position here because you're both resistant to Buzzwole and hitting him for weakness. I mean, let's say for argument's sake that you get 6 supporters in your discard, you hit for 90, double to 180, you don't KO Buzzwole, so your opponent switches their Buzzwole to the bench to try and protect it. Then you've got your ability to move that damage counter over the following turn, get the KO, and then hopefully KO another one with 1 more supporter in the discard. I think there is a lot of good to be done here. I like this attack. It hits some good numbers. GX attack, 1 Psychic Energy, put any free cards from your discard pile into your hand. It's Decidueye. It's literally just Decidueye GX's GX attack, but on a stage 1. And we have all seen how useful Decidueye GX's GX attack has been. I don't think we should be going, oh, it's the same as Decidueye. Pokemon are running out of ideas. We've seen GX attacks be reused. We all know that the new Solgaleo GX, the really good one, has the same GX attack as Primarina. And we all know that Tauros had a really good GX attack, which has now been reused on Lucario GX. This happens, let's not worry our pretty little heads about it. It's a great GX attack for recovery. If you're in something like a Zoroark game, how about grabbing a double colorless energy back? Your most important resource for the game. How about grabbing a bunch of Guzma back so you can guarantee that you've got a gusting effect to take your last 2 prizes? Or maybe you just get a couple of Zoroark back. The point is, you've got options here. And we saw Decidueye decks, and I know Decidueye's really fallen out of favour, but there was a time when it was big, and they would use this GX attack to put themselves in a position where they would win the game. They need a Guzma to win the game, so they just grab free Guzma back with this, and they basically guarantee they're going to have it when they need it to win the game. It's proven to be a good GX attack on a stage 2. I see no reason why it wouldn't be a good GX attack on a stage 1. And that's kind of the thing about Banette. It's clearly good, but is it good enough? The ability is clearly good, and it was really good on Meowstic, and it's actually better than Meowstic's ability, because Meowstic could only move from your Pokemon to your opponents. This can move around your opponents or around yours. It is a better ability. And the first attack is pretty good, especially in the context of having KOs on Buzzwole, and the resistance to Buzzwole is good. And the GX attack was good with Decidueye, so that should be quite good. But your HP's kind of low, and you're weak to Zoroark, and you're not doing a huge amount of damage if you're not hitting for weakness, and that makes Banette a very odd GX indeed. So I'm going to give it between 3 and 4 Wassies. I do think it's pretty good, I do think it will see play, and I do think it's a Pokemon we need to know about, so I'm happy to bring you this video bright and early on a Friday morning, or afternoon, or evening, or night, depending on where you are in the world. Hey! But as with all of these cards, it's time to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to know what you think about Banette, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and so on, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do so. And do check out my video game channel, Wossy Plays, because fun times. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.